Oyvey.
Oyvey! Hey, it's Brandon, and you are watching #oyvey. Oh god, that's great. So the reason why I haven't made a vlog is because I've had a little health issue. It wasn't too bad. That is what I'm talking about with you guys today. So basically my lung collapsed. The end. Goodbye. My lung collapsed while I was walking to my first class on the first day of school. Just my luck, right? One moment, please. This is what they made me wear in the hospital. New Baby Sham by Marc Jacobs. So I was walking to my first class of the new year, and I start feeling mild, a little more than mild, chest pains. But as the minutes go by and I'm exerting myself more and more by walking to my classes, I start to feel excruciating pain in my whole left side. I thought maybe I was sore, or that I just slept on my body wrong, or that my arteries were clogged from all the shit that I eat, or I was being possessed by the devil. I don't know what it was. Something was not right. So right after class, I went straight to the ASH Center. I think I had PTSD from that day, but I have to tell it. I arrived to the ASH Center, and at the ASH Center, you can't really just walk in. You have to make a reservation, you have to sign in, but I could not take it. I was in a lot of pain, so I went to the first girl who worked there, and I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, I'm in a lot of pain, and I need to see someone." She was like, "Okay, I'm gonna get you someone real quickly, just stay put." So I stay put, waiting for someone to assist me for approximately an hour. And you know, at first it was okay, but then 25 minutes passes, and then 30, and then 40, and then 50, and then a whole fucking hour passes right before my very eyes. Finally, after an hour of excruciating pain, a doctor comes and puts me into a waiting room. And I sat there for another 45 minutes for the doctor to arrive. I could have had Ebola at this whole time and no one would have known. Finally, a doctor comes into the waiting room and says to me that I'm unlucky because he was assisting someone else that was after me. Are you fucking kidding me? And you're helping them before you get to me, the guy whose lung has collapsed and doesn't even know it yet. And then finally, after my doctor asks me a bunch of useless questions, he says that I'm going to need to get an x-ray. So I wait in the waiting room once again for my x-ray. Right when I get there, all the x-ray people go on their lunch break. Excuse me, I'm actually dying right now. Oh, and so finally, after they get back from their stupid lunch break, I get my x-ray, and my doctor says, "Brandon, you have a little something called a pneumothorax, which means collapse of the lung."
It's called pneumothorax. What is it? Pneumothorax or pneumothorax or ammonia? Whatever the fuck it is.
So they said to me that they were going to rush me to the ER. Finally, I was going to get some urgent care, some immediacy. I waited another 25 minutes for someone to take me to the ER. Finally, once the shuttle guy picked me up to take me to the ER, he didn't have a car. He didn't have a shuttle. He didn't have no ambulance. He had a golf cart. Also, I'm sorry, but if you are going to the ER, they should have some better wardrobe for us. These are not clothes. This is a cloth. Finally, I get to the ER, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna get rushed in immediately, and they're going to finally fix my lung. I have to wait at the ER for another 4 hours before they put me into a waiting room.
My chest hurts, and I want a fucking In-N-Out burger.
I would have had to walk into the ER with blood on my hands, convulsing on the floor in order to get seen.
It is 6 p.m. and I'm still waiting for a fucking x-ray.
I don't know if I was just attracting this kind of negative energy,
Why am I here?
or if no one liked me, or if I had a fucking invisible cloak over my head,
How's my hair?
or people just don't know how to do their job, and I really think it's the latter.
I've had a day.
And I'm just sick of it. I have a hair in my mouth. After hours of waiting, doctors finally come in and tell me that they have to do a procedure on my lung.
What's happening?
Or they stick a tube in my lung to get the little air pockets out of my lung where it shouldn't be, and then re-inflate my lung with the good air. Or something like that.
Note to self. Never let your lung collapse. Ever.
tell you the truth, I wasn't really listening all that much because as they were talking to me, all I was thinking about was In-N-Out Burger. Finally, the day was done, and I left the ER around 1 a.m. And finally, I got to have my In-N-Out Burger. I could swear in that moment I had only one right lung, but it was okay because I had In-N-Out, so all was good in the world. In retrospect, all was well. My doctor looked like Kristen Wiig, so that was exciting.
My doctor looks like Kristen Wiig.
There were a lot of random people who I usually never talk to who reached out to me about my lung because they actually cared. And I'm a big attention whore, so I felt great. So if my right lung collapses too, so be it. I love breathing. Yeah, this type of thing could happen again because it happens to skinny boys. There's no explanation. All you skinny people out there, if you do get a collapsed lung, I advise that you rush into that ER and drop dead right on the ground so you get in quicker.
Comment, like, subscribe, do what you do, shawty. And I'll talk to you later when I'm healthy. Bye. I see you.